Thank you for being here on an episode of Side Flick. Appreciate your faces. Let's talk about some movie news. Some of the things we'll be discussing here today, guys, is it is the end of the Saw franchise. We're going to be crying hard here. We got a bunch of photos and information officially let out for Mortal Kombat 2, looking pretty sweet. And some pretty interesting updates involving Avengers Doomsday that have me scratching my head. We'll be diving into that along with so much more, so you guys know drill. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and well, happy St. Patty's Day. Where's my Leprechaun reboot? They mentioned it years ago. I still have yet to see an update. I need an update on that green fella. But alright, jumping into our first movie news story today, it got revealed today who's looking to be the star of the Sergeant Rock movie for DC. If you guys haven't been keeping up with DC and the random projects they've been greenlighting part of their universe, we had heard that Luca Guadagnino is set to direct a Sergeant Rock film, character that made a very small appearance in Creature Commandos, but has had a long history in the comics of just being a really good soldier. Well, the Hollywood Reporter is saying here that Colin Farrell is in talks to star as Sergeant Rock. Now, it's kind of been interesting to see the discourse online, because a lot of people already getting mad because, hey, he's already the Penguin.
Holy God, what are you showing me? His head. Come on.
He can't be nobody else. Well, he was Bullseye, and he still played a great Penguin. What now? And look, I get it to a small degree, you don't like that, but we already know Matt Reeves' Batman universe is completely separate, and although he's doing amazing work as the Penguin, you gotta admit, he's also completely unrecognizable in that role thanks to all that makeup. So I don't think it's that crazy that now he'll be the face of Sergeant Rock. I'm just more wondering, is this gonna pay off for DC? Because it's weird as a comic book fan to complain about an extremely talented director, Luca Guadagnino, an extremely talented star, Colin Farrell, about to give us what probably will end up being a really good movie. There is still that part of my DC little brain that goes, I want a Green Lantern movie, another Flash movie, where's Wonder Woman? So while as of right now, I'm not like over the moon excited for Sergeant Rock, I'm just more excited for the talent involved with this movie and what that could end up looking like. Picking Colin Farrell as the main actor, yeah, I have no problem with that, sure. Give me a good movie. But how are you guys feeling about Colin Farrell possibly playing Sergeant Rock? Or just how do you feel about that movie in general? Something else that came about today was we got a couple of photos giving us official looks at the movie Mortal Kombat 2. Thanks to Entertainment Weekly, we also even got some inside scoops to a couple of details within the movie. Going through the list of photos, for one, they gave us a look at Scorpion. Really sweet design. Like, I know that first Mortal Kombat movie isn't exactly beloved, and it is for sure flawed, but it was very violent. It had the right spirit. I understand Cole Young wasn't the most exciting main character. To me, it did enough right where I am actually really looking forward to Mortal Kombat 2. And also knowing that, yes, this will be the movie that actually has the tournament and all these other realms coming together, I think we're in for a real treat. So that's Scorpion. Then we got to look at the main antagonist of the movie, Shao Kahn, who we did get a small look at in statue form in the first movie, and now this is actually him. Pretty gnarly look, like just those little red beady eyes, the details on the mask. Would like to see the full body look and how buffed out this guy is. I already saw some people complaining that just from this one photo that Shao Kahn looks a little small, but it's just a zoomed up look at his head because the actor playing Shao Kahn, Martin Ford, is a big dude. Pretty big buff dude, so I don't think we got to worry about that. Another first look here is at a new character being introduced into the movie, Adelina Rudolph, who is playing Katana. And again, I think they're nailing these costumes. Really like the look of her outfit. It's even kind of cool how Shao Kahn and Katana were characters introduced in the second Mortal Kombat game. So to go with tradition, they're introduced in the second Mortal Kombat movie. But the photo I really kind of want to talk about is our look at Carl Urban as our Johnny Cage, along with right behind him, Sonya Blade, Liu Kang, and Jax. Here's where I really want to go into some of the details that were revealed in the EW article. So from these official photos, they're making it sound like Johnny Cage is set to be kind of our new main character. They said exactly here in the article, his integration into the Mortal Kombat story and universe is a big part of what this movie explores. He's a washed up Hollywood guy thrown into this magical ultra-violent thing. Carl, his depiction of Johnny Cage is different than our games in some ways. He's adding his own flair to it, but I think it'll feel fresh. There's like a novelty factor in there. They go deeper into explaining in the article that he'll kind of be the guy who's brand new to all this and will be asking the questions, what's this, what's that, how does this work? And that way it's a natural way for the story to tell that character and the audience at the same time. And yeah, Karl Urban's casting has been the most controversial part of this movie, because Johnny Cage is usually like a young, handsome, funny, pretty famous actor, and although there are video game stories where Johnny Cage gets older and he's a little bit washed up, it's kind of weird to start him at the old and washed up angle for Mortal Kombat 2. I'm still giving Karl Urban the benefit of the doubt. Johnny Cage has been my favorite character, but I really hope he's as funny, as hilarious as they're saying, because in the article, they really talk up how he's a very funny character, but they don't go over the line where it makes the movie feel ridiculous. They also even go into explaining the stakes of the movie, saying here, the tournament is now officially here in the sequel, and the stakes couldn't be higher. If Earthrealm loses its 10th consecutive tournament against Outworld, then Shao Kahn will invade Earth and take over. If you're not too familiar with some of the Mortal Kombat lore, don't worry, but there are these different realms where a lot of the fighters come from. Like, these will be the main fighters of Earthrealm. In the first movie, we met a lot of people from Outworld, and here, kind of the new place we're going to be exploring is the Netherrealm, which is kind of their underworld, their hell. And I'm assuming that's where Scorpion is in this photo, because that very much feels like a hell environment, and it's going to be this hell that explains how some characters who died in the last movie, like Kano, will be coming back. And they say exactly here, we killed a number of characters who were in Mortal Kombat 1 in our last game, so we deal with the spirits and the Netherrealm and things like that. There are ways to bring dead characters back. And that's kind of the fun of the Mortal Kombat world. There are ways to kill characters and still have them kind of be part of the tournament later on. They're just now on different sides. And the other kind of final thing that is revealed in these articles is Scorpion and Sub-Zero are still going to continue their feud and epic rivalry, but it won't be as big as it was in the last movie. It'll still be there, but it'll be much smaller compared to the other things going on in the film, which I don't think is a bad thing. Overall, I really hope this movie does well and people give it a chance. Kind of funny, none of these first looks involved Cole Young. People are really speculating that they're going to kill him off early in the second movie. I don't know if that would make some people happy or kind of sad. You see all this information involved with Mortal Kombat 2. How do you guys feel about it? Bringing me here to talk about the Saw franchise and the awful, devastating news that we got. So it was just today, I was scrolling online and I saw Bloody Disgusting had posted just a photo of the ending of Saw 1 that many fans could probably hear this image without any sound present of just Tobin Bell's character going, game over. And it just felt like some really bad news was headed our way, and we've been feeling that way as Saw fans, and well, we got it. Bloody Disgusting here has the exclusive where they say Saw series shocker, is it game over for Saw 11? Thanks to a source that talks to Bloody Disgusting, and I think Bloody Disgusting is like the #1 horror movie news site, so I tend to believe their sources, and they have it here in their article that Saw 11 is totally dead, the sources tell us. It's 100% over, almost a year now. And honestly, I kind of figured, all right, although we were supposed to get Saw 11 last year in September, when they delayed it to 2025, even though I was really excited for the movie, I did not put it on my most anticipated list of 2025 because I knew big chance it's probably just not even happening. And here it's being reported that Saw 11 is canceled, and that's not even the worst part. Yeah, the article continues exploring what happened and why Saw 11 got canceled, and it's looking like the franchise is over. Going deeper with their sources, they say here, according to the source, everything went sideways in January of 2024. The producers started fighting. While one producer attempted to plow forward with the film, the other put up roadblocks, stifling Saw 11's production. And that was the rumor we were hearing, that the two owners of the Saw franchise were just butting heads, not agreeing on the future of the franchise, and they were fighting so much it was costing the future of the franchise. And now their fight is so bad that we're not even gonna get Saw 11, and they end the article here by saying this. The insider notes that the franchise might sell somewhere else, but it will likely start over if so. Concluding saying, greed and ego won. Oh my goodness, guys. Like, I'm trying to get you to understand. It's not just the fact that Saw 11 is canceled and not happening, Right now, we are looking at the death of the Saw universe. Everything we've been through, the ups and downs with this franchise, the good, the bad sequels, it is ending here with Saw X if these reports seem to be 100%, which I do believe there are. And as a longtime Saw fan, that is just heartbreaking. I have loved this franchise, have so many memories with it, obsessed over it for so long, and we finally got a great sequel with Saw X. And now we're done. It's over. What? It's the end of an era, is what it's looking like here. Now, again, I don't think this means we're never getting some sort of Saw project again. You know horror, they always come back from the grave, and even through legal battles or issues like this, there is somewhere down the road we get another movie. But when it is time for that other movie, it is most likely looking like a reboot. And again, if you're a fan of this franchise, you know how much continuity and the overcomplicated story and all these characters kind of interweaving, it's been a big part of the franchise. To now hit the reboot button, it really is the end of an era. I can't say I'm too surprised. It really was getting to a point where the story was just way too convoluted. There was so much reliance on Tobin Bell, who, I want to be respectful when I say this, isn't getting any younger. And I think the producers knew that. And the more you delayed this movie, the more you run the risk of not having your star part of the next movie. We knew that reboot button was imminent and it was probably the right choice. And now knowing that this is a franchise that can be milked for sequels, they can maybe lay a better foundation for a new timeline. But when that new timeline will happen and under who it'll be by, we don't know. I've speculated and theorized that Blumhouse could possibly be the people who restart up the Saw franchise because they have a deal with Lionsgate, who distributes all the Saw movies, and I just don't know how I would feel about Blumhouse now owning the Saw franchise and running with it. Lot really to think about, man, but as of right now, the Saw franchise is dead, and I'm a little heartbroken. I will say, though, the one silver lining to all of this, at least we ended the franchise on a super high note, because Saw X was a way better movie than the Saw franchise deserved 10 movies in. Like, that was genuinely a great, solid film with such a kind of beautiful ending to the series. Just thinking about that final shot of the film, I guess that's really the best you could hope for when one of your favorite horror franchises dies. This is where I throw it off to you guys. It's looking like the end of the Saw franchise. How are you feeling about Saw looking to be over? Bringing us now to talk about some updates involving Avengers Doomsday. I got two little updates for you involved with this movie. One official that are comments made by the directors of the movie, and one that's a reported rumor that I think is so interesting. So starting off with the official comment, the Russo brothers in promoting Electric State have been doing a lot of interviews, and the latest comment they made really kind of made me wonder, what are they talking about? So we have here, the Russo brothers confirm that Tony Stark's death in Endgame is part of Doctor Doom's story in Avengers Doomsday. We can't explain that as it's part of the story, but there's nobody else in the world who could play this character the way he's about to. And well, start your speculation and theorizing, because I've already seen so many people throw out their theories. How does Tony Stark's death then connect to Doctor Doom and the way that character is going to be portrayed? We know that's kind of been the biggest controversy amongst comic book fans, that they didn't necessarily go with a traditional Doom with a Romanian actor, and most likely not doing his traditional origin connected to the Fantastic Four and building him up. It looks like it'll be some sort of multiverse thing, and now here it's confirmed even further. Tony Stark's death in one universe really then connects to a Doctor Doom in a different universe, and well, with them sharing the same face, I guess we can pretty much guess what that is. One theory is suggesting, since Doctor Doom is known to have a really scarred, messed up face from when he put on the Doctor Doom mask and burned himself, that maybe there's just a version of him that wanted Tony Stark's face and then just gave it to himself after that. But I don't know, I'm kind of thinking differently. I'm going back to the thing that was just introduced in Deadpool and Wolverine, and that is Anchor Bean. You remember, it was revealed that Wolverine was the anchor bean of the Fox universe, that once that character died, that universe would then slowly wither away and then just completely be erased from time. And since then, people been theorizing, okay, who's the anchor being of the MCU? And I'm like, it's obviously Tony Stark. everything started with him, and so many other things revolve around Tony Stark. How do you not make it him? And plus, you have the perfect setup. He sacrificed himself in Endgame. He's dead. The MCU is now set to wither away and die. There you go. That's how Tony Stark's death probably then connects to Doomsday. Anchor beam. I don't know, but again, that's just my theory. I have no idea. It's probably still going to end up being some sort of multiverse thing. Curious to hear what you guys theorize about that. But now moving on to the other thing that comes from a reliable source, the Cosmic Circus, who do tend to get more stuff right than wrong, but they do sometimes get stuff wrong from time to time. They gave us an article kind of letting us know some things that they're exploring for Avengers Doomsday, and they have it here. Marvel Studios is exploring the idea of adding animated universes and characters in Avengers Doomsday. It would be similar to Space Jam and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where animated characters would keep their animated look in live action. And woo, honestly, I fully believe that's something they're exploring. They kind of have dropped little hints of this. I mean, there was that 1 second world where Doctor Strange and America Chavez went in, where it was animated. I remember watching the trailers of Multiverse of Madness thinking we were going to explore all those worlds, but no, it's just literally a 5-second scene. Doomsday and Secret Wars being the films that like just connect so many different universes and multiverses, I feel like, yeah, that's something they probably are thinking about, but you gotta admit, would that then look a little ridiculous? Would it look a little... I mean, just even saying the words Avengers Doomsday will look like Space Jam, and I'm a Space Jam lover, that's a little weird. But I don't know, if we get like Miles Morales or Spider-Man 29 thrown in there, other cool animated characters, yeah, I'd give it a shot, sure. But that's an interesting idea they're exploring, and I just wonder how that will come off looking, and whether that would just be too much for the audience. We're like, all right, take it back now. I don't know. Curious to hear what you guys think. But anyways, that is all movie news we're kind of going on right now. I'm going to thank you so much for taking time my day to watch me talk some movie news. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.